Hello, welcome to Wheezy Reviews. Today, I am reviewing my very first movie, the new Mortal Kombat movie. Now, I love Mortal Kombat. I grew up with Mortal Kombat. I remember going to the corner store on the end of my street. Well, it wasn't my street, but it was on Town East somewhere in Texas. A little Swift Tea Mart. When the first Mortal Kombat arcade popped up, all the older kids were playing it, and I think I was getting my dad some cigarettes. Mind you, this was the late '80s, early '90s when you could buy, they would sell cigarettes to kids if you had a note from your dad. Anyway, long story short, Mortal Kombat blew me away. I was a nerd for it. I'm talking like so obsessed with it, even going into like sixth, seventh grade, I was still pretty obsessed with it. I mean, Mortal Kombat 3 came out in 95, 96. I had it on my Sega Genesis, along with all of them. All the cheats, all the moves, everything. Needless to say, I saw the original movie, which, oddly enough, was a better structured film than the new one. Yeah, but it doesn't make it a good movie. The original movie wasn't a good movie by far. Through nostalgia glasses, it's great, but as an adult watching it, it's mediocre. It's like a made-for-TV movie with a big budget for the time. But anyway, the new Mortal Kombat movie, as much as I loved the characters they brought into it, how they tried to be faithful to the game in some ways, like the flawless victory bullshit and them saying fatality and Kano wins and all this stupid shit. It had good moments and it had good characters, but goddamn, I know they were going for fight choreography and action over anything else in this movie. Seriously, the people they get to play the main characters can't act for shit. And not that I don't mind them as actors, some of them are decent actors. The main guy, Cole, the everyman, who's supposed to be the stand-in for the audience, I've seen him in things that I like him in. But as a lead in something like this, he wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Sonya's character, Jesus. She's not even... She just was awful. Honestly, she was one of the worst characters. You know... As an actress, she's beautiful enough. From what I understand, they were going for people who could do the martial arts as well as act. And, with some of them, they got it. Kano being one of the standout characters. That guy got it. Good job. Obviously, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, the actual actors that you could tell got more salary than everyone else, and by far the beginning of the movie, that first 20 minutes or so when they're introducing Scorpion and the Shirai Ryu and the Lin Kuei, that actually really gets you excited. You're just like, oh my god, fucking this movie's gonna be great. And then it starts. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. It bugged me. It kind of bugged me because it suffers from what a lot of movies nowadays suffer from. It had some amazing points where it was like, yeah, they got it. And the next scene, they lost it. Editing was awful. I was watching Nostalgia Critic's review of this before I actually saw the movie. And I watched the first couple of minutes and was like, shout out to Nostalgia Critic. You guys are awesome. But he was right in saying that the edits, the cuts, they're amateurish at best. Like, there was like absolutely no art to this movie. Like the cinematography is bare bones, like made for TV. I felt like I was watching a made for TV movie with a bigger budget. Now, the original Mortal Kombat actually had decent cinematography. The actors in it were considerably better than in this one, I think. I mean, Christopher Lambert, I never thought his whitewashing Raiden, that I would prefer it over an authentic Raiden character. But honestly, Raiden's character is kind of lame. Best characters being, of course, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Kano. And everyone else was kind of shit. Liu Kang even was a little, Liu Kang's supposed to be the hero, the antagonist. Or sorry, protagonist. He's supposed to be the main guy, but he was kind of sidelined so that Cole, who was not even a real character, could come in and represent us as the audience, which that's great if you can pull it off. They did not pull this shit off at all. Like, for jack shit. Like, the whole having a stand-in for us as the audience, I thought would be great. It didn't work. But overall, I mean, the 2 hours or so it is that I watched it, it was entertaining for what it was. If I was going to give this a rating, God, I need to come up with my own stupid rating system, huh? If I was going to give this a rating, I would probably give this a 6 for effort. I don't sound too confident, I know, but it did have some good moments. You know, that first 20 minutes with you know, the good actors and the good characters, starting it out with that made it cool. I didn't like how they changed the lore of Mortal Kombat so that somehow Scorpion's lineage is what would stop the tournament, you know, and win the day. I don't like that they sidelined the, you know, with the Order of Light, Liu Kang's temple. I don't like that they killed Kung Lao off before we even hit the fucking actual tournament. Like, this was all pre-tournament. This wasn't even the tournament. This was literally like, you got a month till the tournament, time to train, you know, like all this bullshit. And we get introduced to Luke Cage.
Johnny Cage.
At the end in a crotch shot, for fuck's sake. Like, seriously? You're going to give us a Luke Cage dick shot?
Johnny
and
Cage.
That's supposed to make us think, oh, we got to wait for the sequel. You know, like, fuck you. You should have had Luke Cage in there.
Johnny Cage.
From the beginning, honestly. Cole's character should have been Luke Cage. I'm sorry. Like,
Johnny
it would have made
Cage.
more sense. But they were wanting to set up a sequel and make that like, is now the Mortal Kombat. Now we're going to do all that stuff. Now that we've had this preamble to Mortal Kombat, which is garbage, you know? You already have Kano, who's gone. They have this bullshit with the tattoo transferring itself and all this crap. And now Scorpion's back, but the original Sub-Zero's dead. I'm sure we're going to get a second one if we get a second movie, which I doubt it. That movie, considering it probably isn't going to make the kind of money it needs in today's climate in Hollywood. With that being said, you know, the COVID, the bug. Movies are really rough nowadays. Like, it's really hard to find a solid movie. Like, we just have a bunch of hacks in Hollywood, like, failing upwards, making trash, you know? And some of the best stuff is what you find on streaming stations, obviously. Places where they have more creative freedom and the kind of money that they need to do it. Now, that being said, everything's going to streaming. That is until, you know, or if, you know, who knows what's going to happen with the current climate in Hollyweird. But honestly, when it comes to this movie, it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It had the makings of an amazing film. Poor editing. Some really poor acting choices. Choreography was great. If it was just a kung fu film, honestly, it would have worked better as a low-budget kung fu film. Like, I think if they had gone more practical, but it was CGI'd out the ass with kind of shitty CGI. The first time we got to see Liu Kang do his fire thing, it looked like garbage. I've seen I've seen Ray Harryhausen effects that look better than that shit, you know? We're talking stuff from the 60s and 70s made with clay that look better than that CGI crap, okay? Go watch Jason and the fucking Argonauts, you know? Like, come on. So, for what it was okay. I would say that maybe ditch Cole as the main character. I really think Johnny Cage could make a comeback if they get a second movie. But either way, there you go. That's my first ever movie review. Not too formal. Let's call this Wheezy's informal movie review. I hope you all have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. And again, my name is Wheezy, and I'll see you around.